Hey, kia ora whānau. How's it going? Hey, this is Rewa Takahu here. I'm on our papakainga and I just wanted to show you a bit of how God has created a covering and the effects that that covering has on the soil in regards to what it looks like. And so I've just been walking around on the in the ngahere here. Now we're a coastal site. You would have seen some videos or photos of us. We're up at the homestead, and so there are different layers of vegetation in the semi. I wouldn't say it's a bush per se. It's coastal fauna and flora, but yet there's enough in here to give you clues to how God has created things, and in particular for covering and the importance of soil health and basically maintaining the mauri of your soil when it comes to the garden. And so this is actually a good way to give an example of covering for your garden, and that's from the perspective of quite often our Māra, our gardens are exposed more so to the environment, to the sun, to rain, where if you actually go out into Te Aotearoa, out into the natural environment and just take time to watch what's happening in there, you might see some things that are actually helpful to help you with your own Māra. Whether you're doing vegetable crops or a forest garden, whatever's in your situation for your own backyard. So what we're trying to do is mimic the way God has actually put creation together, and one of those examples is to go out into some forest area or to the ngahere or to the bush like I am here, and just have a look at how the soil is protected, what's around it, what's on top of it, and you'll see there's actually a natural ecology going on where the things that fall on top of the soil, firstly they cover it, protect it, and then it also gives nutrients back into it. So I'm just going to do some photos and just have a little look around. Just a real short video for us. So when you're out doing the Māra is not just about what you're doing in your backyard. It's also about connecting and reconnecting Te Aotearoa, that is the natural world around us, and finding ways of going, how can I duplicate what God has done in our creation? Because if we go back into Genesis account, Genesis chapter 1, the intent for humanity was to be in the Māra and spend time with God. And in doing so, God put a covering over us. When we walk out of God's will, God takes away that covering. And so the bush is a good way to learn that kind of lesson. Okay. So we've got a track that comes down to the beach, and we actually haven't used it for 2 years, and so it's actually reverted back to kind of goes up around that way. It's reverted back to, and the beach is just beyond. There's a bit of it through there, down the bottom here. It's reverted back to its natural state, and so if you look through, you can see this nice green young tupu or kakono that's come through, and it's covered by all these the ferns and the pahutakawa, and as the seasons go through, you see like this fern here, it's broken down and then it comes down onto the one on Papadunuku, and then you get this, all the leaves have gathered, and if I actually just scrape this back, you'll see a real, look at that soil there, look how rich that is, you know, look at that, it's beautiful. Now all that is, now up at the house, where the land is exposed, all this topsoil has disappeared, and so all we've got is clay. But here you've got this great foliage, all these leaves, branches, broken down, and now you have this lovely soil that's underneath. That's ready for the germination of seeds. I believe it's Joel Stanton, who's out of the States, talks about the importance of soil health. And he, I think, talked about that it takes about 5,000 to 10,000 years to create, I think it was 10 inches of topsoil. So, you know, it's layer upon layer. The intent, the way the garden was created in the original story is that there's this covering that protects the soil. And as the soil needs its nutrients, it would come through all this carbon and water and ferns, and as it breaks down, it goes into the soil, and then you have the worms inside that. Again, it breaks down and eats it up and creates this lovely soil. So when we put things like grass clippings, mulching bark on top of our soil, that's what we're trying to mimic and create. We're trying to create an ecology of kai in the soil that is drawn from the materials that you place on it. You know, one of the problems that we have with our modern gardening, and particularly our modern farming processes, particularly where we have to do it for high population, because we strip the soil back so much and toil it, we actually have to put the nutrients in. But if you've got a small backyard garden, like we do have in our Kaitiaki Māra projects, you can actually mimic this. You can recreate this amongst your vegetables. Companion planting, thinking about the way you use manure, you use your grass clippings, you use, you know, just like we've got here. The leaves are fallen. We're going to be coming up to autumn when the summer leaves all disappear, and quite often you have all these leaves gathering up around your place. Put them on the Māra. Yeah, anyway, this is just a little video just to think about your covering. What are you putting on your soil to cover it, to protect it, and also to give nutrients back into it, to return the mauri back into the soil. Sometimes you may have to do some soil testing to see what nutrients you're lacking. You might have to add those in, likes of lime and potassium, carbon and so forth. But we can learn from what God has done around us. And so what I would encourage you to do, here's an action you can do. Wherever you are, in your country or here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, I'd encourage you, if you're wanting to have a backyard garden in your place, go to the ngahere in your region and have a look at what happens there. Have a look and observe what happens in Te Aotearoa in relationship to the way the vegetation grows, what type of things grow in here, and how things fall. Look at the way the wind blows. Because if you watch it long enough, you're actually able to see your weather patterns too. Yeah, anyway, it's another story. But yeah, this is just about coverage and thinking about soil protection. Okay. Man, it's beautiful being out here. Nice and quiet. Got a whole lot of things coming up this week, board meetings, lots of political things happening, but it's great to be in the ngahere. I'm just going to walk back up. This is the old, it was the track. We haven't used it for a couple of years, so it's all grown over. It's amazing just to see the process that happens in regards to how the bush returns back to its natural state. come through. And more of what we're familiar with, grass. I need to get out here more often. So peaceful, hearing the cicadas, all those tohu of summertime. Another form of coverage, you know, e tohu tēnā, whanako, cover the babies that are down here. You know, if I saw this in a dream, what would it mean? Trees and dreams represent leadership and the responsibility of giving coverage and protection for the emerging trees in rākau. So in time, these rākau will fall away and eventually get back into the soil, and these ones will grow up under the shadow. That's why you hear the song or the whakatauki, ko hinga te rākau o te wā nui a tāne when a rangatira dies. It's pertaining to that. That one about rākau's fallen. Beautiful, beautiful imagery. Getting back to nature, back to Te Aotearoa. Alright whānau, keep your covering, not only for your Māra but also for yourself. Protect your whānau, protect your household. Psalm 190, Psalm 91. Yeah, awesome. Alright then, have a great day and God bless. And yeah, click the like button, share button, and so to grow.